All right, back to our second segment of Hard Hits. We're going to just dive right on in. We got five more matchups we need to dissect. The next one we're going to take a look at, probably the most surprising one in my eyes at least. We got Bukaki going up against Limo Right and Jeff Lyon, son of a gun. Limo Right and Jeff Lyon, son of a gun, was flat last week. Got his ass kicked by cooking up a little sudden. Going up against Bukaki this week, and Bukaki, a heavily favored guy in my eyes. I feel like this man could do a lot of damage in this league. But I think the best way to explain Bukaki is he's a very underwhelming team this season. Not doing anything at all. Very inconsistent as Joel. Beat the big dogs, lose the little dogs. So, going up against Limo Right and Jeff Lyon, son of a gun, reminder, Limo Right and Jet Flying, son of a gun, got his ass beat by like 100 plus points last week. Failed to put up 100 points this week. Last week. This week, put up 165 points. This is without Patrick Mahomes. And beat Bukaki. Beat him by a little under 20 points. I am fucking surprised. I did not see this team coming out like this. Derek Carr, one of the top scorers in this matchup, a 29.40 performance. Solid, right? His pride and joy Cooper Kupp led all scoring in this performance. One of the top scorers in the league this week, 36.5. Julio Jones, 20.20. Matt Ryan, ooh! Jaguars defense had a nice solid 16. Golden Tate, your other pride and joy, 12.5. And then Austin Eifert, 10.4. Good thing Delaney went out, right? I did not see this team going off like this. I didn't. What I did see was Larry Fitzgerald, historic ass Larry Fitzgerald with his 1.8. Frank Gore 3.4. It should be noted, Robbie Gould had 8 points. Like, congrats. Those are probably all extra points, right? Nobody saw Carr going for this 29 burger that he went for. I definitely didn't see Cooper Kupp recovering with the 36.5 that he did. And I keep looking at the stats. I'm like 20 points from Julio Jones, and you had Schaub as your fucking backup, right? Like, I did not see any of this happening. Like, when we look at Limo Right, Jeff Lyon, son of a gun, he's inconsistent. Everybody that's sitting at 4-4 is inconsistent, obviously, because they're gonna win, they're gonna lose, they're gonna win, they're gonna lose, right? And it's the bread and butter. That's how it is. But with Limo Right and these four players with not even four players with Cooper and Jones and Tate, like those are just three people that he relies on. And if they're good, they're good. If they're bad, they're bad. And usually if they're four, like Patrick Mahomes, like those, it's usually Holmes and Kupp. Like, because Jones hasn't been doing shit this season. But I didn't see this coming. I don't believe this team. I don't think this team's any good. That's just what I think. I don't know how the rest of the league feels. I don't know how the commissioner feels. That's just how I feel. This team's so fucking lucky. Like, you might as well call yourself, like, Limo Right and Jet Flying M.I. Thielens. Like, because you two are like this. Like, you should be butt buddies or something. Anyways, we look at Bukaki's team. Like, it should be, I look at the quarterback play. Jared Goff at 26.8. Like, I thought, okay, you're going to be all right. Like, it's making up for Lamar Jackson numbers. Galladay at 26.3 after a shitty performance last week. Fournette at 17.10. Marlon Mack at 15.5. Lockett at 13. Freeman had 11. I thought he's going to be all right. I mean, he still put up 145 points. You can't be upset about that. His tight end play, he had a stream of Cameron Brate with 4.7. Scary Terry still hasn't done anything. Cross your fingers because next week, I believe you get Haskins as your starting quarterback, so maybe that changes something for you. It's definitely disappointing. It's 2 straight losses for Bukaki, jizzing all over his pants right now. And this is a team that I'm very fond of. I thought this is going to be a Super Bowl contender, and now we're just taking a couple of steps backwards, especially since he made trades. He tried to booster his team up a little bit. You put up 145 against Limo Right and Jeff Lyon, son of a gun, and this is what happens, right? So, take it on the chin. Hopefully you can rebound next week. Limo Ryden's now sitting in prime position. If the playoffs were to start today, he's in the playoffs. That's fucking crazy. Like, to think that team is going to be in the playoffs, right? Regardless, we look at our next matchup before I get a little bit overheated. We got El Jefe going up against my Thielens. El Jefe is finally cooling down. He was entering this matchup at 3-4. He streamed a couple of wins. He lost last week. He's trying to get it back together. Going up in my Thielens, who's just a hot streak right now, sitting at 5-2 before he entered this matchup. El Jefe put up some points, a better performance this week. In my Thielens, on the other hand, had a better performance this week. 158.78 against the 123.96. My Thielens did grab the victory there. He had 5 players in double digits, and we talk about Coleman. I've been clowning Coleman all season long. Oh, that's your number 2 pick. Well, after week 1, he hurt himself. He finally got accustomed to himself. And then he got into the Shanny playbook after a couple of weeks and injuries and whatnot. The last 3 weeks have been fucking brutal for anybody that owns a Matt Breida. Sorry, Kamish. It's been fucking brutal. Anytime they're in the 20-yard line, that's Coleman territory. And Coleman's been doing it. 4 touchdowns. You heard me right. 4 touchdowns from Tevin Coleman. 36.8 points from that number 2 pick that we clowned about. And this is not old news. This is not news. I'm sorry, old news. This isn't news. He's been doing this. And he's been killing it. Tevin Coleman is on a fucking roll right now. The last few weeks, killing it. We talk about Dak Prescott getting traded. He would have been on a bye week anyway. He started Stafford because that's the man he's relying on. 25.38 points. Connor, 22.5 on Monday night. He's making... Everybody that's on this team right now is making me look like shit right now. Except Crowder. Crowder sucks. He had 4.9. Jamison Crowder should not be on your starting lineup. But you start him. You keep starting him. Jamison Crowder's fucking trash. He had that one victory, that one decent game. Not even a decent game. I think he had 6 points. That one game that beat Luke. And Luke will never forget about it. And the power game is never going to talk about fantasy football ever again until the next season. Because of that matchup that Jamison Crowder had 1 catch and you keep starting him. Anyways, DJ Chark, he had 16.9 points. Carson had 15 points. You had a lot of good performances on your team this week. You should be very happy about your team. But look, we talk about lucky ass Ricky. Remember last week Marvin Jones had the game of his fucking life, right? 30-something points, 3 touchdowns. This week, 5.2 points. It was the Galladay show this week. But last week was the Marvin Jones show. It's just the luck of the draw is going your way. The fantasy gods are looking at you and they're we're going to take care of Ricky for now. It's not going to happen all the time. Now, Jefe, he's starting the right, he's getting a lot of the right moves going in the right place for him. Deshaun Watson's been killing it for him lately, 30.7 points. He started Fells, 20.8 points. I don't know who the hell would have started Fells, but he did. And look what he did for him. Jamal Williams, even with the Aaron Jones parade going on in Green Bay, on the Green Bay Sunday night game, Jamal Williams still had 17.1 points. Eagles defense at 15. Myers at 12. Chubb had a measly 10.3. We're talking about a top 2 pick, and Chubb only gave you a 10.2. Now, we look at what really fucked El Jefe over on this matchup. Kevin Coody, 0 points. I would have started Coody if I was running a league, and I picked him up. That would have been a great move. Hamilton on the Broncos, especially with Manny Sanders being shipped out, I would have started him. 0 points. Sanu, 3.3 over New England. It's just... OBJ 7.7, and I think the biggest thing is why did you leave Miles Sanders on your bench? You lost 21.3 points because you didn't start Miles Sanders and you started Coody instead. That 21.3 points, it wouldn't have grabbed you the victory, but it would have got you very, very close to that victory. That's for damn sure. El Jefe, you're not in the 4-4 in the pack, but we're talking about there's 5 games left. You're going to be okay. You found a role. Watson's been killing it lately. Jamal Williams has been a huge factor for you. Chubb and OBJ should be contributing for you. I think you're going to be in the mix. You got to win next week, though. That's for sure. And my Thielens, he's a force to be reckoned with. I hate to say it. I think that team's trash. We talk about Jameson fucking Crowder's being started every fucking week. Why? Jameson Crowder's fucking trash. He's not even the third best receiver on the fucking Jets. I think he's not even. Like, fuck. And Sam Darnold's your fucking quarterback. Anyways. Next matchup we're going to take a look at real quick because we got about about 4 minutes left until we hit a break. We are going to look at... Which matchup doesn't really mean shit? The Power Game versus Boo Boo is a matchup where I thought Boo Boo had the luck of the draw. I thought Boo Boo was going to fucking grab a victory easily because it's the draw. Boo Boo's been killing it. Won his last 3 straight games. The Power Game, on the other hand, has been taking for next season. Traded his draft picks, traded his team. This was a Boo Boo matchup. Boo Boo was going to win this matchup. No ifs, ands, or buts. But he lost. Power Game ended up grabbing the W. Now this is making the last place punishment looking a little bit more interesting. The Power Game, sitting at 2-6 now, beat Boo Boo 137.62 to 115.76. Power Game had a fucking game. Like, we look at his team, and I'm like, man, this team ain't that bad. This is the crazy part. He had 7 players in double digits. We're talking about a team that is not here to perform. Not here to perform. He's on the same level as the elite. They're just here to finish the season. Set your lineups, keep moving. Set your lineups, keep moving. Ryan Tannehill led all scoring in this matchup. Ryan fucking Tannehill led all scoring in this matchup. 22.42. DK at 14.8. Jordan Howard, recently acquired a couple of weeks ago, had his great game, 17.6. Lions defense with 13. Adrian Peterson's finally getting on the board consistently with 12.3. Boswell with 11. Kuechly with 11. Emmanuel Sanders with 10.5. You had a game. The Power Game. This is probably the best performance the Power Game's had all season. Wild, bro. Wild. He only had 2 underwhelming performances. Corey Davis with 1.9. Greg Olsen with 2.3. Didn't leave much to be desired on his bench. I looked at this matchup. I was following it the whole time. I was rooting for that Power Game because Team Boo Boo is Boo Boo. His lineup management is Boo Boo. And it's just, Boo Boo shouldn't be sitting at 4-4. He shouldn't be sitting at, he shouldn't have been sitting at wherever the fuck he was sitting. He shouldn't be sitting at where he's sitting at all this season. So I was really happy to see the Power Game grab a victory and do it convincingly. It wasn't close at all throughout this matchup. There was a little bit of separation towards the end. We look at Boo Boo's team. He had 6 players in double digits. Brady led scoring with 19. Boo Boo led all scoring with 19. Boo Boo. Brady with 19. Erickson. Who the fuck is Erickson? Who the fuck are you to start Erickson? 12.7. Nick Bosa with 12. Beasley with 11.6. Melvin Gore with 11.4. And Gurley with 10.4. I just named you a whole bunch of fucking people. And I'm just like, who the fuck are you to start Beasley and Erickson? That's Team Boo Boo for you. That's a 4-4 team right now. That's a team that might make the playoffs. Like, we need to stop Boo Boo 2019. Like, straight up. But I do have something positive to say. Jimmy Graham at 3.5 points. Fuck Jimmy Graham. Fuck Jimmy Graham. Fuck Jimmy Graham. We're going to take a break. Team Boo Boo, stop Team Boo Boo 2019. Make sure we get that trending. When we come back from break, we have about a couple of 2 or 3 matchups we need to review. And then we'll take a look at next week. And we'll get you out of my hair. Connor Joe, go Pats.